What up, guys? Welcome back to All Gas Podcast. I'm Factor.
I'm Kevin.
We got Hybrid Works Chris and Jose.
Wapo.
So welcome to the show. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, share, do the whole thing. Also, this is a podcast where we talk about racing and only racing, none other bullshit. So keep that in mind. It's a racing show. So let's get into it. How you doing?
All right. Thanks for being on the
Welcome
show,
to
guys. Thanks.
Welcome to the show, guys. So, man, tell us about this badass machine you got over here.
It's a 95 Honda Civic EX model. Let's see, RS machine built, long block.
LSV Tech. Down.
Yeah.
NG's on.
83 mil.
Dave do the head too, or just the block?
Just the
the
head
block.
is
Stock.
basically just
Stock
stock
head.
valve train,
Yeah.
stock ports. The first motor was fully built, but we blew that, and then we just pieced together the spare motor with whatever we had because I didn't port the head in time to get it together. So
Shit still does work. Stock.
Still does
You did good numbers
yeah,
last weekend.
we just do what we could.
Yeah.
You know, keep the car going. So
How long have you had this car?
yeah, let's get into the history of your racing and everything. Like how long you been racing? Let's get to your story. How you started.
how I started was back in '98. My dad was into racing. We got into racing with Midnight Performance back in the day. He worked with Warren when Warren owned Midnight Performance. We did it for, I want to say, like 4 years with them. So I want to say '98 to like 2001 ballpark. Is when I really got into it as a kid. I was like 8 years old and, you know, doing it with him. And then as I got older, I wanted to...
I haven't talked to anybody in a long time that knows about Midnight. Not a lot of people knew about Warren in that shop until Andre came around.
Yeah, I actually worked there too.
Really?
Yeah. I started working for performance shops, starting with Midnight Performance.
Yeah.
Well,
So you pretty much been
Andre.
doing this all your life, for the most part.
for the most part, yeah. I've been into...
Been around.
Yeah,
Okay.
into the import drag
What was your
racing.
first car? Because that's a kind of a thing on the show now. I guess it's What was your
What, your
first car?
first car?
Yeah. What was your first car?
92 EG hatch.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Not another CRX.
Yeah,
I think,
I'm
what,
a fan of
All of our
those.
guests but one, now two.
Have had
Had
CRXs
CRXs as their
as
first
cars.
I
or
was a
EF.
91 EF.
See?
Screwed it all up.
It was a
No.
LSV Tech Nitrous
There you go.
So let's get a little bit of your history too. So how long you been doing this?
since 2002, 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
EF.
EF. Actually, no. I had a muscle car before this.
Oh,
My little brother-in-law got me into imports.
What'd you have?
I had a 67 Cougar
Nice.
with 351 and a 64 Oldsmobile.
Nice.
Okay. Using classics.
Them Cougars are nice.
It had no brakes. Took my girl. I had to slam into reverse every time to try to slow it down. I went to borrow some jack stands from my wife, so dad, and then at the time he hated me. That's how I had to slow down for his house. It's straight, boom.
Fuck.
Hey man, our buckets.
So let's get a little history on the car. So, obviously, it's fast, but how did it get to this point?
A lot of work,
That's for sure.
work and love.
I bought the car from ATS Phil after I had helped him get to Week Fest one year. He had the car sitting, and I was just like, oh, I want an EG coupe. I think 2012 is when me and Ant originally started talking about doing something different, something a lot more detailed and faster, and like a race program that would keep the shop going and, you know, promote the shop in a different aspect to grow the business. So 2012 is when I started to pay more attention to World Cup finals too. So that was a goal that, you know, that we wanted to hit, and, you know, ever since then we wanted to just build differently from that moment on.
So you gonna try to get this car out there at some point?
It's definitely gonna travel West Coast before it gets out there.
Yeah.
You know, obviously steps to get to that point.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the class has grown so much, and I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Watching it every single year is just like, damn. You know, you got who would have thought? You know, there's a low cash with a 62 millimeter that went 840s.
Yeah.
You know, whoever
Yeah.
thought that would be possible? There's a Jay Marsh now on the 67 going 8.0, about to break sevens, you know, and then obviously, you know, that's the smaller turbos, but there's also, like, you know, Speed Factory.
Well, that's a crazy thing. You know, just thinking 3 years ago, there wasn't an entire class chasing sevens.
You know,
Eights was the number, you know. I mean, you were mid eights, high eights, but sevens was not feasible or thinkable, you know, 3 years
Yeah.
ago.
yep.
Now this year, everyone's chasing sevens. It's such a close knit, you know,
yeah,
out that way at least.
I mean,
sevens.
there's what was it, the fluffy car?
Yeah.
The V4 car, right? Didn't he just make like an 850 off the trailer pass or some shit like that?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, just or an
That was
840.
last weekend, I think.
Yeah, he just, I mean, to build a car and then off the trailer run an 840.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's really good for the scene. So let's talk about Reading. How was Reading for you? Because we all know you went there, and how was that for you?
he got screwed.
You lie.
His first round chip draw just blip.
I liked it, to be honest. You know, a lot of people talk about that race, and honestly, like, I was happy to go against him.
Yeah.
You know, it was always one of my dreams because I watched Fatty, you know, from the beginning, and to look at him now, he's one of, you know, my inspirations. It's just like, damn, dude, I want to do what you're doing.
His program's top notch. I mean,
Yeah.
he's one of the best out this way.
You know, and not only that, they literally made a round trip. You know, a 10-hour drive one way.
Yep.
You know, that's insane. Like, that shows you, like, real dedication and stuff.
That's the crazy
So-
part. 10 hours up here.
Mm-hmm.
What, 5 rounds, 850 each round.
Mm-hmm.
10 hours home.
Yep.
And
So-
he ain't raced all year.
Nope. And he raced
No,
once in like
he-
January or something
yeah,
like
he
that.
raced IF4 early.
Yeah.
But I mean, after the COVID break, he didn't do nothing.
Yep.
There were some people that are still active, but he wasn't. And to pull that car off and still do what he did is like, man, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
No dyno, no tuning, no computer, no nothing. Just straight off the trailer.
Yeah.
Bracket car. It's wild. But yeah, no, that's
So, you know, I was happy to go against him, and, you know, it really put me on my A game, and, you know, it was like, oh, you know, the only way I'm going to get him is, you know, possibly if I could tree him and make sure my short track is on point. After that, like, I couldn't, my turbo's just maxed out. you know?
that's the trick to beating him, and that's a little for everybody. He sleeps at every light. That guy sits there and plays with sandwiches. He'll tell you that too. He's like, I sleep at every light. He was like, I never make a light. He was like, my car does what it does, but he was like, I never make
I
a
watched
light.
that video again the other day. You did fucking have a reaction. You were on point reaction time all fucking night. And the night, all day, and then the night before that too. So you were doing pretty good on tree. You can keep that shit up. Because that does.
That's how he makes most of his wins.
Yeah, was it you that just posted about paying attention to reaction times, and that's why reaction time is so critical?
Yeah.
I think you had just posted
Yep.
that. Yeah, you know that's one thing that's really I agreed with that because it's like, dude, that shit does play a part, especially on the big end. That plays a part.
I mean, when you're in competition, it truly matters, you know, because for you guys that don't know, it's your ET plus your reaction is, you know, overall how you win. because some people will go like a 9.2 and the car next to them go a 9.4, but they were sleeping at the light. They're like, oh, what happened? Well,
Yep.
there's your explanation right there. And
Yeah, if that 9.4 car's got no O and you have an 01, you're
yeah,
screwed.
so that's where it really plays.
If you leave first, you're most likely going to get to the other end first, in theory.
Yeah, in most cases.
Yeah, red light. Or not.
just make sure you got enough power and you don't break and
Yeah.
you're good.
So what's your take on the 8th mile car? Because I've been seeing a little race that they're trying to get you set up with Bubba.
8 Mile.
Yeah,
Just
both
because, I
you
mean-
guys told me about it, and I guess the guy was talking about these Hondas, and
Yeah.
me and Ant had talked about it before going to Reading, and it was just like, I'm not really worried about it. If the V8 guys say that, they're looking for a reaction, and however you handle the situation is going to be the outcome. If you full blast it and like start talking shit, obviously,
Yeah.
But
I was just curious what your take on it was, because a lot of people in the import world don't want to play with V8s, because I mean it's all short track versus these that are 100% top end car.
well, if you wanna be on your A game,
Take a quarter mile.
well,
I mean,
those the V8 guys are scared of our top end.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Especially the all motor ones that are making like 700-800. They're all like, oh, your top end is just gonna catch me. And
But what's crazy about that is we run 8th only, and then you look at your 8th, and you should be high 5s, low 6/8s, and they're only running 5 6/8s. So it's you're not gonna leave. Grudge wise, I think it would be a fair race, but if you're running off of times, you're gonna get screwed because they're gonna leave that light fucking. Their 60 foot's way better than yours.
yeah,
But the 8th, you guys should be close to even.
yeah.
So
I mean, I'm down for it. I'll run it. At the end of the day,
it's just a race. Racing's
yeah,
racing.
racing is racing, and if the other person's faster, then that just means I need to step it up.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it means to me.
Yeah.
So
I want to give a shout out to Bodie real quick though. Shout out Bodie and shout out Maurice. For really putting that event on. It was
Right.
really big for us, and got news that the pot for the next one is going to be even bigger. So you Sport Front Wheel Drive guys, get your shit ready for next season because it's going to be a good season, so to say.
It'll
Like
be way bigger money.
It's going to be way bigger money. So there's going to be more money for grabs than $1,000. I think pot was $1,680.
Yeah. Patty took home $1,800
with our bounty that we put on him. So
plus other side bets and stuff
those
like
side
that.
bets, but it's just know that the starting off pot is going to be way more than what he earned last one total. So just be ready for that. But yeah, I just want to throw that in there. we got to get that in there. So a little motivation that the pot's going to be a lot bigger next time.
I mean,
lot
pots
bigger.
don't really matter to me. They do play a role.
Yeah.
I said we were talking about this the other day on Facebook.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna go out and race no matter what.
Yeah.
That's just me personally.
Because racing's in your heart. You like
Yeah.
racing. Doesn't matter
So-
whether you're gonna take home $100 or $1,000. But at the end of the day, when you're spending how much money racing, and you only win $100, you're just like, well, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
I just spent that in fuel.
I mean, like I imagine how much it costs to go to the event, to get the car here to go to the event, and be there for overnight and everything. I'm pretty sure it costs a lot of money.
Well, that's like we were
Yeah.
talking in Reading how many trainings you just put in this and how much you just spent on trainings in this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you only take $100, you're just like, well, okay.
That buys lunch for the team.
Yeah.
That
That doesn't even buy alcohol for the night. Especially with
Yeah.
this guy.
And you.
The way he pours shots.
Yeah, and if you know how I go to track, I want to make sure all my people are taken care of, so we're eating good.
Like, he's the same way. Like, I try to pay for myself. He pays for me to get in. He pays for family. He pays for everything. So it's the same way.
So we got a new sponsor? Or?
No. If you drink
Right, if
Rays,
you drink Rays Energy.
you might get a sponsor. I think I can see a sticker on
Yeah,
the
they
car.
got mellow flavors too, not just that fancy frou-frou shit.
Well, it doesn't match the color, so.
They have red
Do
cans.
I have red cans? I just brought this one.
Right? He's like, damn.
We drink it.
He ain't offer us none.
That's all we got left. They're good, and we've been drinking them.
Speaking of Rays, if you want to send me some more cans.
Yes, please. Yeah. Also, if you buy some online, you can use our code. It's just
All Gas Podcast,
All
yeah.
Gas Podcast, and use that discount code and get discounts on this shit. Really good. No sugars. You know, carb guys.
Anyways.
Gotta push the brand.
Right. So you're sponsored by Hybrid Works, or you work with Ant.
Mm-hmm.
What got you working with Ant instead of another shop or another tuner in the area? What made you go that route?
It's mostly how Ant's approaches towards everything. He helped me in a lot of aspects of life, not just in racing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I left, Midnight Performance, there's a lot of drama, and Ant was staying on the positive side, and there's things said and whatnot, and Ant was just like, trick it, like, that's back then. Tomorrow is what you need to look forward to. Let's keep going. Like, what happened in the past happened, and just move forward and do better. So
Anthony's always been a positive person for everybody.
Yeah.
And he's like a guru for tuning.
Yeah, Anthony's a good
It's always
guy.
been a safety tune.
yeah.
It's not all about the power. You know what I mean?
Of course
Yeah.
not.
It's all. It's never about the power. It is about the power, but
Well, you want safe power, not max power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
like my
that-
card.
like
Baby
even
power, but it works.
even the last motor was in here. It wasn't about the power. It was just a defect and something happened, blew it. And this was one. The motor was in my car, the bottom end, and we used what we got.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He did the same thing for me when I was racing. He used to help me pay for gas and help me with my turbos, and it's more of as being humble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have somebody to help you, I mean, that happen. You know what I mean? Especially you keep friends like that.
It's true.
Yeah, so basically he was wanting to take me in, and I liked the way he was going about things, and just like, all right, let's do this. So it's pretty much how it all went.
That makes sense. I mean, it's always good to have like a family aspect behind your car, your tuner, or whatever. Not just pay someone to tune and that's it. Like I've always felt that way when it comes to tuners, because they're gonna want to pay more attention to your car and actually do it correctly, not just here's fuck tune, here's money, have a great day. Like
Yeah, it's more of a relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
no, that's cool.
Because Anthony used to be Powerline back in the day
Mhm.
before he was Hybrid Works.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he opened his own shop, he was
Yeah.
it's all about Hybrid Works.
Yeah, no, I know a bunch of Powerline dudes from back in the day. Like I know Reggie and Brian and all them, good friends.
So, you've obviously been doing this. Both of you've been doing this a long time. What keeps you motivated?
Each other?
Yeah, Jose definitely motivates me, and tries to keep everything together. At one point, I was ready to give up on the car. I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I was having too much fun, like traveling and stuff.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Creating dead bodies.
And so at one point I was ready to really sell the car. I talked to Ant about it. I was like, hey dude, you know what? I think I'm done. And he, Ant was like, no. And Jose was another person I was talking to, and Jose's like, man, I'll help you. And I was just like, oh man, I don't want to let these guys down. So it was just like, all right, let's keep at it then. So those two guys really kept the car together when I was ready to just let it all go.
That's cool.
What are some goals with your car though? Do you have any people that you actually want to race? Like you said, you looked up to Fatty. Is there anybody that you want to race, or is there anybody or anything you want to do? With like, is there a goal that you have behind your car between time, racetrack, person, anything?
There's not a specific person that I want to race. I'm not one of those guys that want to call anyone out or anything. If we line up, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not tripping about it.
Pick the pot. Let your own pick the pot.
As far as goes for the car, the only real goal I have is to just go as fast as possible.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is making sure I can stay within my budget, and as long as,
He's like, budget.
You're right. Whose budget?
You looked at you a long time
He
ago.
saw whose budget. You see that look?
as long as it fits within the budget, I'll do it. So,
I need your budget. After I heard about them transmissions, I need your budget.
You ain't lying, bro. before this one was together, we changed, we blew, and then we were picking parts out of buckets and trying to get stuff working. And he got me on what's it, like gear set.
the face plated.
Yeah, those worked after that, and then when we put it in his car, that should never work.
It was worth the shot to see, how much power it could and actually handle.
Not that much.
I mean, it's more of the torque that kills it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
that's
what it really is, because Synergy Mike, he's using that gear set, and I don't know how much power he's making exactly. I have a rough estimate, and he's told me a number, but I'm not gonna put his car out on blast. But it's working with his, and he is a B16 motor, so a lot less torque.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I believe that's saving it. So
It's a possibility.
yeah. So yeah. Dog box is a big thing, though.
Yeah.
You want to save yourself a headache? Just buy a dog
Start there.
Just start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had mentioned drawing chips. Real quick, how do you guys feel about the
Chip draw
event
versus
being
ladder?
chip draw versus the ladder system? How do you feel about that?
It shows you like this. I rather draw chips than do we have a ladder, honestly, because to look at the draw. You know what I mean? And we happened to be on the bottom when we raced Fat Kid, and he whooped our tails. I mean, we went up there like this hard, and then he gave us a humbleness experience. You know what I mean? Chris is a hell of a driver, and he just outpowered us all the way. You know what I mean? We could only do so much, especially with limited on what we got with the turbo. So, I mean, like he said, it makes him better, and it makes us humble to make ourselves better.
Oh, yeah.
And teach other people.
Well, it's good to get seat time no matter who you're racing. The seat
Yeah.
time makes a huge difference. I mean, it lets you get used to your car, lets you get more experience with your car.
No, I'm a planer. I'm sorry.
What do you think about it?
I get Bodie's aspect of why he does it that way. How I looked at the event is it was more of a legal street racing
Yeah.
idea. We're talking about heads up,
No times.
no times, straight grudge racing, and then the chip draw is how you would handle a real shootout on the street, right? So we're not going off of a ladder of like fastest versus slowest and get a good,
Yeah.
final round. That's how I took it, and going into the event, I already knew what it was. So it wasn't like they were hiding it or anything. So.
No. That's just
You know.
Bodie's way. He's a grudge
Yeah,
racer.
that's his way.
That's-
That's grudge racing.
And I have nothing against it, I would rather do it that way rather than go race on the street, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
I'm not much of a street racer.
I would say, did you ever start out in the streets, or were you pretty much tracked your whole life?
Are you a street guy? You can't see the light turn on because he's so blind.
Need to change the ladder to red and blues instead of oranges and greens?
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing at night, so
Oh, yeah.
I try and stay away from street racing. But there are times where it's like, all right, fuck it, I'll go. With this car, I never did because I didn't have any headlights or anything like working.
Mm-hmm.
They work now, so I don't know. If there's a good shootout, I'll be like, all right, trick it,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
So
That was my next question. Was
No.
so? Would you?
He's saying his words. It's coming.
I got you.
hey, that was him. I was standing in the car.
It was, whenever you guys have a shootout, call me.
No, don't call me. Don't even text me. I'm dyslexic. I can't even read half the stuff that you always see all this stuff. What do you say, Chris? Read. Oh, where's my wife at? Text him back, babe.
Yeah, but there's also to a point where it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I think I'd rather do a private track rental and rent it out, and everyone just
Yeah,
put it on a pot and winner takes all.
We've talked about that a few times because I think it's a better idea, but there's people that don't want to deal with the safety aspect of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of street racers that don't want to do belly pans and all that other shit, and it's kind of hard.
What's that track over there off of 12? You know what I told you about?
Off of
Kingdom?
12? Kingdom?
Yeah.
Kingdom.
You can rent those out, but it's once a year.
Twice a year, and they hold events there already.
Yeah, you can't rent it out. Not that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, okay.
We've been talking about that for a while. They won't. They do 2 rentals a year, and it's already a scheduled race every year.
They
You
do
better
one
call
thing.
them. You better call them for 2 years from ahead of time. I'm saying.
No,
I think we got better luck getting sacked than we
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
No prep.
I was going to say, should we do a sack no prep event?
Yep.
Yeah.
CMI Tony talked about it last CMI we went to.
Yep.
Like a month ago.
Yeah, we've been talking to him about it for a while, and he's up for it. He was like, "Just call me." So, we're actually gonna have him sit down and have an episode with us. So we're gonna talk about a lot of that stuff, a lot of prep for the track, a lot of no prep, races, renting out events and stuff
So
like that.
I was on YouTube the other day and I saw something about a no prep Honda event, but
Uh-huh.
they raced from the back end of the track, like old school,
Yeah.
real no prep shit. Would you guys be interested in that, or would you want to keep it at the start line, just no prep?
The only
Because
problem,
like the no prep kings, the Street Outlaws dudes,
They
they
start
do it at the
good.
track, but they do it off the light. But these other, it started originally was to get off of the street. They did it on the back, to get closer to the street. They did it at the back end of the track, so there's no rubber on the
the
road.
only hard part about doing that, like for SAC, is that track is not good on the top end. That track
Well, that's true.
is
Yeah, I didn't think about
nasty
that.
up there. And you're going this way. If you have an accident,
We can't
there's
slow
no
down.
sandbox. There's no nothing.
Yeah,
You're going through the fence, through the wall, onto the road.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
cool. You can go to the little dirt road. That's right. You take that one fence out, you go to the dirt road. You're good.
Oh, no.
So, but the aspect's smart because there's no rubber, there's no nothing from past races.
Yeah.
But with that track,
Yeah.
Something to talk about. Getting that event.
I've never heard of doing it that way.
No?
I've never.
I'll
I'm like,
I'll send
That's-
you some videos later.
that's all it is. Is
The
there's
first time I seen it, I was tripping. I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "But I get it. You're on the track, but you're getting as close as to think."
Well,
Well,
you're
the most
getting-
part,
you're
they
getting-
already did. They only do eighth.
yeah. Well, you're
So-
doing virgin
so they-
roads. That's
yeah.
what it is. It's almost like a virgin road because there's no rubber from past races down.
which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's actually like in the shutoff area where
Yeah.
you're racing. Like so, like let's say this is the track, and then this is the shutoff. You're actually racing here, and then the track is your actual shutdown.
Yeah.
So in California,
Our shutdowns aren't
You
very
know-
big.
Yeah.
you know how much it costs for this piece of land in California.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
why our shutdowns are just crap. So,
Right.
So
That's why a lot of fast guys don't want to come to SAC.
I mean, SAC has a good shutdown for the most part.
Well,
like
it's better.
lengthwise.
It's better than Reading. You're not going through a fucking go-kart track.
Yeah. Me and Mason talked about that. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing for it?" He was like, "I just keep going."
Yep.
I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do the same thing." And a lady started getting pissed off at me. She was like, "You can't be doing that every time. You got to pull your chute." I was like, "Mm-mm."
No.
yeah, we saw what happened when you pull your shoe.
I was like, "Nope, I don't like that."
No, there's too many crosswinds up there. It's the same thing with like Arizona. Crosswinds are just nasty.
Yeah,
That's not good for a shoot.
yeah. I was just like, damn, I should have did it at a different time. Because the next day I'm looking at the flag because they got a flag there. I'm like, damn, it's dead right now. Like,
Yeah.
I can actually pull it if I wanted to now.
Yeah. And then that wind picked up nasty towards the end of the event.
Mm-hmm. It did. Throughout the day.
Yep.
So, but yeah.
So, what are your strong topic of tracks? What are some of your likes and dislikes of the events being hosted? Because I've seen you at every event. Like how they're run different. So we just try to ask everybody like their opinions because we want to push the sport. So if we can get everyone's opinions on how to help the sport grow and help get these stands filled or better organization, what is your opinions on that? Your guys' opinions?
That's like us talking shit about people.
No.
No, not really.
Nah.
It's not talking shit if it's the truth.
Say it.
depending on depending on perspective.
Yeah, true.
As
But-
far as like events, I think Race Wars is a good turnout, but it's more of like a car show in my opinion. You know, they cater a lot to all the car show stuff and organization as far as racing. It's a shit show.
Yeah, because they put all the
So-
races in the back and you can't hear nothing back there. And sometimes we like miss our pass because we hear it when we're trying to get to the car show. People are in their way and kids running around. So I think they should put the car show at the back and give us like a quarter of that area for the racers.
So we were actually talking to Tony about that, and now that he's having someone new do CMI, they're talking about moving the car show towards the back. They want to try new things next year. He wants to do chip instead of ladder. He wants to move the car show back. He wants to change the pit area. Like, he's wanting to do a little bit different just to try things. And that was one of the things was with the new person that's doing the shows, he wants to move them back and have the racers up front.
So did you race the last CMI? You raced, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. For your class, did they do the first round? They just did first round, kind of whoever pulled up, kind of thing, and then they did. They did chip draw first round, and then whoever got number one got to call out any guy he wanted when they were lining everybody up.
Yeah.
What do you think about that aspect? I thought that was pretty dope. I thought that
It was
fun.
best reaction time.
The first round was just normal.
Okay,
chip
I was gonna
draw.
say because I know.
Second round became
it was reaction time.
reaction time. But
Yeah.
but if going in the first round, no one's really got a reaction time. So
No, but I'm saying for the
Yeah.
second round, it wasn't best time. It was best reaction time.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
best
think
reaction.
that was because they didn't have anything ready. That's why we had to do it. Got reaction time because didn't
No.
Sharp Power we had to.
No, he wanted to. At the beginning of the event, he told us that's
Yeah.
how it was going to be.
Because he wants to try new
Correct.
things. He's wanting to see if he could change.
So let's say go in the first round. I draw one, you draw two, he draws three, four, whatever, right? So then I got number one, and I see that obviously number 5 has not been making good hits. So I'm gonna call him. I want number 5, or maybe it's a grudge race that I've been wanting to race him. So hey, I want number 5. So boom. So me and him locked up for first race. Then we have to figure out who's left, who's right. That's on us. Then they move to number 2. Now he gets to call out whoever he wants, and then we do that until there's no more left. Then when you go into the second round, let's say I have the first reaction, best reaction time. You have the second. He has a third. And he has a fourth. So I have a first reaction. So I'm gonna go. All right. He had the fourth, so I'm gonna call him out, and that leaves you 2.
Yep.
Or I can say, oh, he had the second best reaction time. I'm gonna go after him. I want to see what I can do. So like that was how they let it. And then every round until the finals was gonna be off of reaction time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was
okay.
lost.
Yeah. But
It's all right.
but you see how
As
that
long
you
as
said-
you're not racing, you don't need to know.
Yeah. He just wants money. He don't care anything else. No.
No, I stopped racing a while ago.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the driver's seat and you didn't know, we'd be fucked. Be like, oh shit.
Well, he explained it everything because he called the drivers meeting, explained everything.
There
and
were
that's-
some people that were confused because
Yeah.
I think first time, it's kind of hard, but
Honestly, it does make it a little bit more difficult the way he was doing it, but
it's
it's his
nicer when there's the smaller classes. But if you get in a larger class, I think it would be a pain in the ass. I don't think.
like
it'd
that
be
1050 class was almost a full class, it was like 16 cars or 14 cars, and they did that same thing, and it's kind of hard to do that. But like with the 1260 class, there was only 9 cars to start off with, so it was a little bit smaller, easier to do.
That, and if they would have stopped everyone farther back in the lanes and not just say, hey, pull up. And then when everyone pulled up, they start doing that, and they're like, well, now how do we move around?
Yeah, well, that's something that we could work at, next time. That's why he said
Yeah.
park back there. It's going to the second round. Remember, he had said that, so
Yeah.
it's just little things.
Yep.
So you don't like if you compare the ladder system compared to like Tony's system compared to Bodie's system. What would you rather do? The ladder system?
if it's a SFWD class, I suggest the ladder system only because, the people who are serious about it, like, we're not trying to go against like certain cars. Like,
You're not trying to get fatty first round, is what you're saying. So to say.
Well, at the end of the day, how the ladder works is number one qualifier versus the slowest.
Yeah.
It
Or number
eliminates
one
those
gets a bye if there's a bye.
quicker. you know, it eliminates those people quicker.
Mhm.
It doesn't really give those people a chance. Bodie's way and, you know, all that. And Tony's way gives those people more of a chance. So I get why they're doing that. And
Yeah, that was a trip
whatnot,
one day.
so-
It was a street car versus a fat kid. Then that
Oh, the
EG.
finals.
yeah.
Hey, that car squeezed so just first round by, second round the car broke, and then the third they went against Chris's CRX, and we were having problems with that car all day. It wouldn't go past like 5,500 RPMs. So they just like basically squeezed their way into the finals.
Hey man,
happens.
they went. I mean,
And then actually against Fatty, they actually ran their fastest time. They went 1080, which is cool for them.
yeah.
You know, but I like it because it was more motivation for them. Now that little crew is all hella juice and they're gonna push harder now. So that's just gonna do nothing but keep you on the scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Because
true.
could you imagine if they would have got knocked out by Fatty in the first one? They'd be like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna build a car because I'm gonna have to go up against him every time.
Well, that's
You know what I'm
how
saying?
that's how we always talk about ladders, like Sac Raceway with the bracket classes. No one wants to race you going 8s or 9s when they're only running 10s. When really you should fucking risk it and go. I mean, there's always chances of breaking or buys or whatever.
That's true.
That's why I don't know. I've always had that argument. Like bracket, it makes sense to help people get better, but bracket I think takes away from the bigger racing because there's those people that's somewhere to run to. It's an outlet, and you know what I mean. Instead of racing you, like you lose first round, you're screwed. You're done racing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's I think I don't like the way SAC does that with the bracket cars because now your bracket cars are usually the ones that are always breaking. So you're always having track issues, cleanup issues with bracket cars before you guys get to finally run. And then the track's just shit after that.
I mean, yeah, that's one way to look at it, but on the business aspect of
Oh,
it, you know,
But it's the same thing.
obviously,
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
that's
it makes them
that's
the most money.
that's the hard part with racing. It's like you said, it's like the car show thing.
Hmm.
It makes the money. Whether you want it there or not, it makes the money. That's what sucks.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, people are gonna pick and choose where they're gonna go and whatnot. And
Yeah.
if you know they continue,
Yeah.
you know, that's just what it is. But
What do you think we could do to get more people back into the seats, whether it's spectating or racing? Since you've been in it for so long, I mean, you would know what it was back then to what it is now. What do you think?
Well, isn't it like $15-$20 to get into the car shows for regular people?
I have
No,
Spectators.
as spectators, 20 online a day.
25 at the
before
door.
25 at the gate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how much regular car shows were. This is a track. It should be at least a little cheaper for the people. Like maybe $10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think like $15 is cool,
Yeah, 15,
and
10
you
bucks.
can break it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you know, if let's say for instance like my dad to come, my dad, my mom, my little brother, and like my one other person, right? That's $200
Yeah,
just for spectating.
just for 4 people to go in and watch racing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of a lot.
yeah, I mean, from the racer aspect, a lot of people.
Wait, that's $100.
complain-
My bad. See, I told you guys I'm not good at math.
It's his fault. It's the shot.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
that's $100. I said 200. Fucking, I'm an idiot.
9
Told you,
plus 10
9
is
plus 10
21.
If you want to know how that answers, let me know. DM me.
He said he wants another shot.
No, hell no.
Sure.
Yeah, racer aspect of it. I mean, you know, as far as like racing and you know going down the track, a lot of people have certain concerns at certain tracks. You know, there are also rules that you know I get it. There's some people that you know I don't want to put a belly pan on or you know whatever, and it's just like. Okay, then don't race. That's my aspect of it. Like, if you're not gonna follow the rules, then you're not really about it, and
Yeah.
go somewhere else. You know.
We don't have a belly pan.
Yeah, it's just not on there. I have one. It's just not on. yet.
He just said you really ain't about it. He just sold you out.
It's coming, he said. He's coming. Like I said, we're coming. Hard.
Oh
I mean,
shit.
you know, safety is a big thing, and you know that was the first stuff that went into my car is all the safety stuff. So, you know.
You have a Whitfield cage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a Whitfield cage installed by NorCal Auto
Yeah.
Styles, so by Caesar.
So, kind of backwards talk here, but now that I looked over at your car, what got you with Kelly? Because everything on your car is Kelly built, right?
All the fabrication except for the cage, yeah. Kel,
you look at everyone else in this area, it's, you know, Sheepy, this, that, the other. A lot of people around here are cookie cutter built. Not a lot of people have Kelly.
yeah. Well,
And there's a
trying to
few,
be
but
more.
yeah.
But Kel, I started working with Kel when he first started. Actually, I had his first catch can. Kel really caught my attention because of his car, and then when I found out he was fabricating, anyone with a small business in this industry that's in NorCal, I try and support.
Yeah.
You know, no matter who they are. You know, and
Remember that, people. Don't go after the big name. Support who is with you. See who's at the track. Support them because they're going to keep helping you at the track.
so like as far as, you know, anything fabrication wise, like I've even, you know, me and Kel talked about doing radiator and stuff like that, and you know, if he's not willing to do it, then I'll go ahead and source it out. But if he's willing to do it, it's going to him, you know, and it doesn't really matter how far it is or anything, you know.
It works. It seems to work. You've
Yeah.
had nothing but success with the car, so.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues with his fabrication at all. So, you know, dope dude,
Cool.
dope work,
And
speaks for itself.
You just brought this car out this year, right? The beginning of this year?
The car got done last year. We had it on the dyno and stuff, and we just never really took it out.
Broker training on that as well.
That's 3.
There's a story behind that, but we won't get into detail.
Happened to do with alcohol?
I was told to be nice.
Did somebody forget to put oil in it?
No.
That's always the best one.
Is that one of those things we'll talk about off air?
We're trying to have fun, and we had a little too much fun, and we'll just say the diff blew.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, damn, all right, we'll go fix it. And then I said I was gonna fix it and continue to like travel, and I was like, do it later. That's pretty much what happened there. But the car was done and running last year, and we just I wasn't too motivated. One of the biggest motivations that got me to want to finish the car again and like actually start racing was the car you talked about earlier, La Fleffley. I forgot what year it was. I'm pretty sure it was last year or the year before that, one of those. They crashed the car at World Cup Finals.
Oh, that was 2018. That was 2018.
So it was always in the back of my head, like, damn, these guys, you know.
Well, they wrecked it that year. Then the next year they blew up the motor and swapped the motor at the track, and then went again.
Well, that
Yeah,
car,
but he's talking about when they crashed.
No, I
and
know.
they had
Yeah, they got
they
the
had
shell.
a
Yeah, no, I
homeboy
know.
from Florida
But I'm
drive
just saying,
up.
they've had issues every year to where they've had to do something at the track to keep on going,
Yeah.
and it's wild.
Well, that's part of it, you know, R&D. That's all part of the process. You know, if you're trying to break world records and shit, that's just part of it. You know. You know, people are over here talking about, oh, you already did this, did that, your car's always down. Oh, shit, it's part of it, you know.
If you ain't breaking, you ain't racing. You ain't doing it right, at least.
I won't say that.
I'm not sure about that one.
It's just,
If
you know,
you're maxing everything out, you're gonna break. If you're learning, trying things new instead of just building a cookie cutter build, you're gonna break.
Damn, luckily I have a good filter right now. Luckily, see, that's why we didn't take another shot because I was gonna say something.
What do you consider a cookie cutter build?
Huh?
What do you consider a cookie cutter build?
Everything's off the shelf.
When you have an LSV tech and you have Sheepy intake, Sheepy intercooler, Sheepy turbo, Sheepy fucking everything.
When you buy everything, see, but he had his custom made. Your manifold's custom made, right?
which one?
Your
Turbo.
exhaust manifold, turbo manifold.
No, that's actually a sheepy built.
Oh, shit.
I thought when you were saying that, I'm over looking at the car.
No, it's just
but you
I've
have- you have
noticed over the
fabrication
last
for
like
the-
3 years that you go to Sac Raceway and everyone has the same sheepy intercooler.
Yeah.
Everyone has the same sheepy piping. Everyone has the same exact turbo. I mean, it works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it's the same build. You're watching the same
not
car
every-
going down the damn track.
Not everybody knows how to use those things as well.
Yeah,
I mean, because the turbo we have is pretty small.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And we did do a good time with.
But that
really
you get what
got
I'm
sorted
saying though
out.
about the cookie cutter thing. It's you just
Well,
see it everywhere.
The reason why is if you watch the last episode with Charles, he custom built his whole car. He
Everything.
built everything all fabricated by him.
Yeah.
There's almost like little things that he bought, but everything's almost all fabricated. That's what we're talking about. That most people will not go to the extent of what he did, or even half of what having custom manifold, custom intake, or custom
Well,
whatever.
Not
be
even
made.
just that. It's
but-
you're buying a name brand. You're not saying, well, this. I could go buy a Kelly built manifold, or I could buy a Sheepy manifold. They could do the same exact thing, but I'm gonna go Sheepy because it's the top of the game right now. Everyone has it. That's what I mean by cookie cutter. Everyone has the same built car, no matter what works.
Now, get to your point, it's true. You can have, it's just like my car. It's a stock injector, stock motor, 205 horsepower. There's people that have pretty much the same setups, make 225 with like maybe injectors and a little bit of other things, just a little bit more like black car.
Oh,
They have an H22A block. I have an A4 block. They make 15 more horsepower than me. I run a faster time. My car's way more consistent. What you're saying is right. Not everybody can take the same shit and do the same thing with
Mhm.
it. It's
Yeah.
that's true.
Mhm.
I agree with that. You know what I mean? But what we were talking about, more people, it's like literally people these days don't fabricate nothing. They don't get their hands dirty. They just buy parts from online,
see it
order,
online.
order. They see, oh, you have this manifold, and you have this, and he's going that time. So, oh, I'm gonna order that, and then they don't. Some people don't even put their own shit together.
well, it'd be like you're sitting there at home and you see Fluffy's car. Oh, he's got that manifold. Buy. Oh, he's got that turbo. Buy. Oh, he's got that. Buy. Like they just see something, they're like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and then like you said, not everyone can use it the same. So even though they buy it, they can't use it. Some do, some don't. But when you just buy it because it's cool, I don't like that. You buy something because either you support someone local or buy something because you like what they actually put out, not just what you see online.
Yeah.
I mean, Sheepy put out good work.
No, he's not dissing Sheepy, but
No.
he's just saying.
I just use that example
use that
because it's
example.
huge in the last couple years.
It's like an H22 H2B 1320 header.
Mm-hmm.
Go walk through the pits and see how many of those motherfuckers you see. No one has a Whitfield header. No one has a Danny header.
Well,
no
you don't see high end headers anymore
a high end or
because
PLMs,
1320
all those.
copied them and made one.
Yeah, and they're cheaper and they're local to everybody. So but it's
But it
literally
might not make the same power.
yeah, exactly. That's the point. They're only getting it because it's cookie cutter and it's cheap
Yeah.
and it works.
Yeah, as far as like custom built stuff, if the person who's doing the build cares about their name and work, they're gonna put everything in it to make sure it makes what the customer's paying for.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of things that people don't see on the back end. Back in the day, our guy Calvin from Out of Order did a B series all motor setup, and he was going all out, pretty crazy setup, and he came up with a Myers header on a B series, and it's just like, oh, I didn't know they make this. He was like, yeah, and there's some areas where they thought that it'd make more power. He literally took off the header, took it back to Jack, did his thing, came back, and it made more power off of one little step. And I was like impressed. I was like, wow, and he had told me how much he paid for the header. I was just like, you're crazy, I was like, but then with, Jack doing that, that's where all the money is. It's like, oh, you know what? We'll do this. You know what I'm saying? So you get what you pay for at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same thing that like I always said about ported heads. People will go buy a JBRE 4-piston or something ported head and just say, hey, this is going to work because, big cars make it.
Mm-hmm.
But what you don't realize is there's companies that hand port. There's companies that flow test all their heads. I mean, there's all this other stuff that goes along, just like you said with Jack, where he changed a little thing and it made more power.
Yeah.
It's not just an off-the-shelf cookie-cutter build.
And that's a good point, because my last head, it was hand ported by forgot if it was RS Machine or Portflow. It was one of the two because they worked together. But you know, we made some serious power off of that head, and it was a hand port job. Everyone's all like, "Oh, why don't you go hand port?" And I don't know. I put my trust in my sponsors, and
so
that's it.
I don't know if you know Justin Vizzo. Jay Vizzo.
I know.
He swears by hand porting, and it's a good point. We've talked about this a few times with him. A CNC port. So if you build a head out of a cast, it's going to have flaws. It's going to have different casting. It's not going to be the same exact head across the board.
Correct.
So if you have a CNC port that takes off the exact same material off of every head, well, if the head's different, how is it going to take off the max or the minimum or the rights? It's just going to take off the same amount.
Yeah.
Hand port, you can see what you're doing, and it's different for every head that you port. So it's just I think it's better.
But sometimes when you do hand port, you're losing power.
Depending on who ports it, if they don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing. Well, if they don't know what they're doing.
I had a head we used. I made more power on my stock head than somebody gave me another head. Hey, you put this on your car, see how you do. And then we lost.
Well, yeah, you could open up too much.
We just lost a couple of almost 100 horsepower. Then I got rid of it, and then some same thing happened with Manny, with his car. And now I just kind of, if it's not even being machined, and show me the paperwork.
Yeah.
I won't do it at all, because even the head we have right here is a stock head.
Yep.
I mean,
well, there's a lot of companies that swear by a stock B series head for a turbo car flows better than a ported head does. Makes more power. They swear by it. Like Fatty's head's still stock.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
let's say, isn't that kind of what you're going through with your head, that you're planning to build, that you're going to get it ported, but after talking to people, they're like, nah, don't do it.
So when I was talking to Portflow about it, well, I was talking to Ken and John, and then I talked to Portflow, and they said the same thing. They were like, you can put it on a bench, test it, and clean up what needs to be cleaned up, and that's it. Don't open it up. Just clean up what needs to be cleaned up, and that's it. He was like, you'll make better power on the turbo car that way.
Yeah, as far as it goes for turbo, I'd agree. Like, just throw more boost at
Yeah.
it,
Well, it's safer that way, too, because if you're throwing, 40, 50, 60 pounds at an opened head, you're bound to crack something.
Yeah. But you also limit yourself, too, so it just depends on the goals on the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously.
it's more reliable, too.
Obviously, the world record guys, you gotta port it. You gotta get as much flow
Yeah, well,
out of it. So.
I don't know. Fatty's 840s with a completely stock head, just block VTEC.
Yeah. So, I mean...
that's pretty good to me.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not saying it can't be done, because
Yeah.
there's East Coast guys running 8.2s and
Yeah.
shit on a stock port head.
So what made you go B over K?
I've always been a B guy. I actually don't like K's. And I used to have an H, so I don't like H's nowadays neither. So
Do you know that I was quiet there? I was in B or K. I was sitting over here in my corner.
Working on all the different Honda motors.
Yeah.
B is just.
You can say you don't like H. It's cool. I ain't gonna hate you.
I don't. It's not that I don't like them. I just don't like working on them. That's what it really comes down to. Because at the end of the day, most of the work that's done on my car is mostly done by me mechanically.
Yeah.
I do have my mechanic, Ramit. He used to be my old coworker from Midnight Performance. He's been, helping me out. But for the most part, before he came along, I was doing all the wrenching. And if it was a K or a H,
When did you leave Midnight? Through Andre or when Warren left?
No, I didn't work there when Warren was there.
Oh, okay. So you were there with Andre.
Yeah, I was there
Okay.
with Andre the whole time.
Okay.
I forget what years, like 2010.
Yeah.
Ballpark.
Yeah. No, I was
So.
in that shop since when Warren had it.
Yeah. So, I only went to Midnight when Warren was there because my dad
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
So I was literally a kid.
Fuck, I feel old now.
So, but yeah.
Okay.
So.
You've been racing a long time. What's one of your favorite? Well, both of you. What's one of your favorite races you either competed in or seen, or
Right. Most memorable race.
most memorable race that you've seen or been in?
But street or track?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We do street and track on this show.
Oh yeah.
We do racing and racing only.
The most memorable, like
Yeah, go ahead.
that's all good. The only thing I remember, no, recent one I remember, right happened right before I got rid of Fab. So I hit the wall, and it made me look at life more. You know what I mean?
That's your most favorite one?
That's your most favorite. No, that's one of the most memorable ones.
Oh, okay.
What's your most favorite one?
I said it was my favorite, but-
Let's not go down the
My
stab.
favorite was when I hit the fucking wall and I was dying.
I didn't hit it. I didn't hit it. I clipped it.
Yeah.
Flip the wall.
I clipped the wall, and it made me look at things a little more in
Oh,
life.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then start putting everybody else in the car.
Is that when you stopped driving?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my mom would see me on TV. Me and Manny racing on the street.
She got mad at that.
Yeah, and then she told me not to race no more.
That must have been an Oakland
Yeah.
newscast.
I was holding his car like this, and he was dragging me. Chris knows, y'all. There's still pictures. There's pictures on the internet. She's dragging me like this, and I'm holding the car on the side like this.
I'm pretty sure I can find it.
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah.
It's on my Instagram.
Alright, I'm gonna go find it. I'll post it on here.
That's one of the good one. No, we were just trying to get. I think we were racing out of order that day.
Back in the dock days.
Yeah, and I believe we were racing out of order. We were racing Dawn. Dawn was Manny's kryptonite at the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Little Dawn.
What about you?
Right? What's your most memorable?
I mean, for my personal experience so far, I would say it'd have to be with the fatty, Aaron.
Yeah.
For my personal experience, and then probably like watching. I mean, there's so many at World Cup final that was awesome.
Have you been there?
I've gone 3 years so far. So
I feel like I should know that.
I've gone to H Day. I went to Pan Am once, and World Cup.
What's your favorite out of the three? Event wise, not just like racing wise, but event.
Well, he said he don't like H Day, H.
H Day is dope because it's all.
I'm like, damn.
H Day is pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like it's strictly all Hondas for the most part.
Yeah.
And then, the East Coast vibes for racing is completely different than out here. Like completely different. It's crazy.
But that's always been kind of like my question about when I talk to certain racers or even track people or whatever. What could be done out here to make it that big? You know what I mean? Why we have so many people out here and there's been so much history. Why can we not have it that big? Again, I mean, it's been that quite, close to that big, but
The laws and everything getting so strict about smog, not selling. If you sell Honda at it, it has to be a track car and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It got
A
really
lot of
all the
these are not
EPA
California,
shit. Yeah.
California certified or whatever.
yeah.
It got really strict on a lot of different, different shops, and they're closing down here and there.
At the end of the day, that shit don't matter.
I mean,
to be real, you're not driving. Those guys in the East Coast aren't driving their car to the racetrack.
No,
Yeah.
hell
They're
no.
not driving it on the street. It's a strictly track
but
car,
I'm
bro.
talking about from out here.
But no, I think what he's talking about is more of the everybody all around. The scene has died a lot.
Oh yeah.
My-
Because they couldn't kill it by just saying stop street racing because that was one of the main things. So how do you kill it? You stop supplying the parts to make them go fast.
Yeah.
No one's gonna can't go fast if you got no parts. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what California. I think that was California's approach. But there is guys like
that
us who
slowed a
don't
lot
do
of my
it.
truck
right?
down. Building my truck, I couldn't order nothing in here because it was all EPA crap.
Yeah.
California would
Like
not let me
shipping
ship
it
anything.
and
Yeah,
whatnot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Cause you have to get like
I don't have
Because
that issue.
why yeah. But why would what he's saying was like the scene? How can we get that big? But a lot of people don't want to be involved in it no more because it look like a lot of the diehards, like you, me, all of us who do this shit for many years. There's some guys that start off doing it 1, 2, 3 years. They get a couple tickets, impound here, they give up. Oh fuck that, I'm done. But then there's guys like us who I don't give a shit. I'll buy another
There's a lot of
car,
people
build
that
another one.
don't want to build a straight track car either. They want to be able to drive it on the street and fuck around or
Can
then
you
go to the
drive
track.
on
Yeah, guys, you don't see a license plate back there? It says Power Line. Come get it.
Well,
I mean, can you take this to go get groceries?
Nah, that's not
for 1
happening.
mile, I'm sure it's only got a gallon gas tank in it.
Yeah, it's a 3 gallon.
Yeah.
It ain't going too far.
I might get to the little liquor store down the street.
I mean, my house is convenient to things. I think I could get there and back,
Right.
but do I want to? Hell
No.
Not
You
happening.
ain't driving ants in this thing.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'll probably I won't make it out a sack with it.
Even
But-
at an idle.
Yeah.
That gas is expensive.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, see all them bottles you got over there.
See,
Gotta keep it in stock, man. You have no idea how many racers go to a racetrack or to go get tuned and they're looking for gas that day, and it's just like, what? Like, are you serious?
Yeah, you just gotta be careful with 85. It's not too long of a shelf life.
After you open it, it's 6
Mhm.
months.
Mhm.
So
And that's what we kind of talked about too, is about being prepared for events and shit.
Being
And
prepared for anything.
and-
Dyno, event, any of it.
But like I've explained before, like I've got buddies that I've told 6 months ahead, said, hey, or 3 months ahead, hey, this event's coming up, let's get your car done now, not a week before.
What are you
not
trying
do
to
nothing.
say? Mason, don't fix that shit on a Friday and go race on a Saturday.
Hey, but Mason's successful at it, so you keep doing you. You
Yeah,
keep
it's-
talking shit, he gonna end up getting a fucking IROC.
Hey, leave Joe Dirt alone.
It's an inside joke. But nah, but he works. But it's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, you're talking about being prepared, and I honestly don't get how people go to the track without a spare axles for sense. You know what I mean? Or spare something that
Even
might break.
fuel. As small as fuel.
Yeah, that's like last time we went to see him. I still have fucking leftover fucking 100 octane. I don't
Yeah.
know what to do with.
Barbecue pit.
Dang, you're fancy. You run 100 octane?
Oh shit! I can say that on loud. Fuck.
yeah,
It's a
Fancy.
baby car. It's a
I mean-
baby motor. Needs something.
yeah.
Need a sponsor. Need one of them grandmas.
You're gonna teach me your ways?
Yeah.
Because if I could build a car like that, I might take the risk.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you're ready for dentures yet.
Oh fuck!
Oh, damn.
Lindsay, watch this, man.
Oh, wow.
What? That's
now-
A
true.
lot of people are gonna watch
You
it.
know, what are they talking about?
Right? Straight gumming.
That's cool. I'm gonna put gummy racing.
Hey,
Oh my god!
Gun-
Oh shit! It's sour gummy worms. I'm ready. What do you mean?
Gummy build.
Gummy bill, bruh. That's the new.
Oh my god.
I'm getting stickers made. You're gonna get one. I'm gonna get one.
There's gonna be a pair of dentures in a cup.
Bruh, shh. I'll give it away. I'll be selling tapped in for the gummy racing stickers.
Oh, hell.
Fuck.
Oh. Whew.
No more pepper juice.
Hey, you're the one that wanted to take shots. We have rule no alcohol on the show.
There's honestly no alcohol here.
I got the footage.
Oh,
I have it.
yeah.
The camera was on. Gummy bill. Fuck.
Oh, hell. Thought we were about racing and racing only.
That is about racing. That's about getting a sponsorship.
Oh, hell
I
no.
don't know what kind of sponsorship that is, but I guess it pleases at both ends.
Chris likes the dusty one.
This is foul, bro.
Oh, hell.
Cover your ears.
Yeah, right? Oh,
Oh,
man.
fuck.
Anyways. Whew.
Next question?
I'm looking. Just...
Yep.
All right, I got one. We asked this kind of everybody. What's advice you guys can give to the newer generation? Like for instance, that 1080 car. What can you give them you know, if they're watching the show, like, what can you give people like that to get to your level or to keep going? It's like, so what's something that you guys live off or whatever?
We live off each other. You know what I mean? They got a good little team over there. They got the girl who put the motor together.
So you're saying a support.
Yeah, more support.
The family, the
as long as
friends.
you have a good solid little team in between yourselves. You know what I mean? It should be good, and don't worry about all the haters who talk crap about your car, because there's always gonna be haters in life. Doesn't matter what you do, racing.
Haters are just fans
work.
in denial.
As long as you keep on pushing, you know what I mean? Just don't let it knock you down.
There you go. Just keep pushing.
Their
pushing.
turn. Dirty guy.
He's still thinking about the grandma.
I definitely ain't thinking about no grandma.
Oh man.
Oh,
I mean, as far as like advice for racing, you know, just do what you're able to do, and if you ever need advice, at least, you know, from me, you know, come reach out. I'm not here to hide secrets or anything, you know. All of my information is from all of the top racers put all into one, and that's probably why we've seen the most progress with this car in such a short amount of time. Keep working hard at it, and you know, don't let anyone discourage you from your goals, you know, no matter what the goals are, unless it's something negative. So, you know, just keep at it, you know. I have my team, you know, Powerline, Hybrid Works, Wicked One, you know, Kelly Built. They're all, you know, even another one is a RS Machine. These guys I'm talking to constantly, you know, and they're motivating me. And
Dave's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's smart.
Yep. You know, without all of the sponsors, you know, pitching in and, you know, their end, the car wouldn't be where it's at. And without all the support of, you know, that I'm getting from everyone, I mean, I probably wouldn't want to push, you know, push harder. So,
Yeah.
you know, everyone's.
so push harder, get a good team behind you, and just keep pushing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now I'm all about the person, the big dog winning. He's, like I said, that little guy won the other demo, went all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
Right?
And we got knocked out first, man. It sucked. But it was cool.
But you know, like also they weren't gonna go in the event. They had a broken clutch, and then they ended up being. They just went there to go test.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up getting a clutch, and then someone said, "Are you racing them on?" They're like, "No, we don't have the money for it." Someone gave them $75
It
to
was,
participate.
it was
The
Mo's
Bodie.
brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Mo's brother. Yeah, but gave him the money, and look at that. They didn't go rounds and go
Yeah.
to the
Yep.
to the finals
Took
and win
$200
$200.
home.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I said, it's a big motivation.
Because that's honestly, that's how, when I started racing, and not when we were doing racing, I didn't have a lot of money, and I was getting help from everybody and all my friends. And then I only could go so far at the time because whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? That's why I said, no, for her to put that car together and put a new clutch in there and have some paper to get her in there, they did a good job.
Right?
And to go all the way to the end, even with, you know.
It takes a
how it
lot
is.
to push yourself to put a clutch in the middle of a pit area to keep on running.
Yeah.
Like, not many people, most people will just be like, I'm going home. I'll
Pack
do
it
it
up,
later, come
pack
back
it up
another
and go
weekend.
home.
Yeah.
Were you guys there at CMI?
Huh?
Were you guys there at the last
Yeah.
CMI?
Oh, yeah.
I saw you.
Oh, man.
Well, you broke in testing right before the.
No, testing wasn't good.
The
We were
test-
testing tuning the day before.
Yeah, it was the day before.
And I guess what happened was the clutch welded up. Overnight, it got really cold and it just welded itself up.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, when they were starting the test hits, it was like, oh shit, my car's not going anywhere. It was like, I'll put it in gear and it just died. No clutch. I'm like, ah, shit. So we went back to the pits and, you know, Romit, along with all the Powerline guys that helped, you know, was able to take it out while I, you know, focus on other cars. And
So that's actually brings a question I ask everybody. How would you feel, or would you think it'd be a better idea to have 2-day events instead of 1-day events? So you could have testing and qualifying the first day and then finals the next day. So
Yes.
you have a chance to fix your car if something breaks instead of racing or rushing back to the pits, fixing it and hoping you make it back.
It
Well,
just depends. You know,
Well,
how many.
wasn't that kind of like a 2-day event for you in a sense? Because you guys were testing and.
But yeah, but I'm saying not everybody does that
Yeah.
though. Because you look at West Coast fucking World Cup finals, you look at HCL, everything over that way is 2-day events. Or at least 2-day events.
Well, you gotta understand too. They're 2-day events because of the classes are 32 car fields.
But that's what I'm saying. I wonder if that could help us get bigger fields if we had 2-day classes.
There's
Or
not-
2-day
Like
events.
how I run it here is I'll hit a test and tune before I hit an event.
Yeah.
You know, given.
Well, yeah, that
Unless
makes it a 2-day event for you then.
Yeah. Well, say test and tune is the week before, then I'll go test and tune the week before, and you know.
Yeah.
I don't think a 2-day event is gonna help anyone out here in the West Coast, to be honest, because
It was just
as
her-
long as you play your cards right and plan everything out, you could get it done. Now, say for like an East Coast guy to come here, if they were to, yeah, they'll.
Well, same thing with like LA and stuff. I mean, not a lot of people want to come up this way because why drive up here at 3 a.m, be tired as hell, hopefully your car doesn't break. If
Yeah.
it breaks, you go home, and now you're screwed.
Yeah, so for those guys, yeah, I
Don't talk
would.
about Mason like that.
For those guys, I would say, yeah, you know, a 2-day event is good for them. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we're planning Vegas right now, and I'm trying to figure out.
You
You
gonna
know,
go to Bakersfield too, or just Vegas?
No, Vegas.
I'll go to Bakersfield if it's happening.
It's supposed to be happening.
We won't know until the beginning of November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
happening.
If
but-
it happens, then yeah, of course I'm gonna show up. The car is running.
Yeah.
It's going.
Yeah.
So
There's Tucson next weekend.
Yep.
But I don't know.
yeah,
That's a push.
I'm not doing that.
That's a journey.
I thought about going just to go watch. I was invited to go.
Have fun.
I would, but we're not ready.
Well, yeah, you should have went on turbo.
Yeah. That, and I have to put my bell housing in, so.
And put the belly pan on.
They called you out.
Right.
Friends, you know.
So
If he puts
sack
it
next
on.
next sack
I'll bring it
race.
on.
So you got to put on.
So Vegas, make sure he's got a belly pan on.
Oh, man.
If it's not on, we're gonna blame him.
Right.
He's gonna pay.
He's paying the bounty.
He's got to pay the belly pound rule. Belly pound betting.
Hey, Chris, let me see your wallet.
I left mine at the
You're right.
hotel.
Bro, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, if it happens, I'll end up going.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, that'll give us a good, you know, test and tune at least for to see what we should expect for
Vegas.
Vegas.
My only concern with Vegas is so late in the year. That weather is so iffy.
There's been twice that I've gone out there and they cut it short or
Yeah.
they turn it off because the winds are just way too high. So
Yeah, I know. One year Vegas did it like how Fontana did it, where they instead of a Saturday Sunday they pushed it back to a Sunday Monday, or just a single day where it was just Sunday instead of Saturday Sunday. So they moved it because of the weather. But
yeah.
Fontana did a Monday?
What, it was hot or was it just too windy?
rain.
Well, at Fontana.
Mhm.
I don't see Vegas being rain.
No. Well, they have flash ass rain out there. It's like Arizona. Out of
Yeah.
nowhere you'll get rain.
I mean, it rains there.
Yeah.
Not much.
No, it's random
Yeah.
rain. It's like Arizona.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's just late here. It's already
So basically, you're looking towards Vegas.
I'm looking for
He's
whatever.
looking
events
for
next.
racing.
If it's not Vegas,
If it's in
the
California,
track's
I'm
down
there.
the street from the track.
I'm not missing one California event. I'll tell you that much. So
Yeah.
I'll say that. And you know, a lot of guys consider Vegas as a California track.
It's
so,
West Coast.
You know.
It's close enough.
Yeah. So, I'll be there.
You bought my ticket yet?
a lot of tickets
He's like,
already.
buy my ticket.
So.
Do you think we can make a 16 car field sport front drive right now?
No.
If everybody came back, yes.
All of California.
Yes.
Because
Oh,
I was
yeah.
thinking, you, Stars, Fatty, Andre,
FCS,
FCS, Galvin,
Manny.
Manny. Who else we got? There's
Stars
there's so many
John.
cars that
Speed Stars
Speed
John.
Stars John.
Alex, one slow K.
Yep. That's what I was just
Yeah.
about to say. I was thinking of.
Yeah.
There's a few.
Maybe Jet
Chad.
Bucket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chad. Oh fucking that dude Matt too.
Matt.
That's Ace of Spades car.
Mm-hmm. That thing's fast.
What's that?
Badass.
880s.
The one that didn't have no front end on it. The
He was
the
already. Yeah. Blew up.
Yo.
So that's
But
11.
he's got a new motor already in process.
Yeah, fucking Christ. I mean,
Wow, dude.
Mason's gonna join. He's getting in. He's gonna make some changes off season. I know there's. I mean, fuck, there's Jerry built cars too. Jerry built's got like 2 cars, right?
I mean, if we're talking about
No, not-
all of California.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All of California because
Oh,
think
you
about
could
it.
easily pull 16. 'Cause
That's
you
what
got
I'm
Richie built. You got fucking Jerry built.
And that's what I say. We forgot. We named a lot of NorCal cars. There's a lot of SoCal down there too.
No, like NorCal alone, probably we'd struggle to get 16
Yeah,
cars.
you could
out.
you could do 12,
So.
maybe 14 out of just NorCal, maybe, if you pulled everybody back out.
If it's strictly SFWD, it's gonna be hard to put 16 car field
Yeah. Oh yeah.
off tops for NorCal. You include SoCal, game over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could put that
Oh, yeah.
together easily
Yeah.
off the top of my head. So
Yeah.
you know.
Well, we also got Rob Beasy still working on his car too.
Mhm.
So that car be good.
You
to
would
see.
have an easier time in California pulling together SFWD than you would all motor.
Well, well, I'm going. Yeah, well, that's
Because all motor,
Yeah,
there's
there's
like
no
4 cars.
well, what I'm saying is because I'm looking at next year, and I'm just kind of like trying to think of how it's going to be at these events. Where people like Galvin hasn't raced this year, except for early this year at IFO.
He braces Lambo.
Oh yeah, that too. But you know, like I'm
Well,
looking
then
at,
you
I'm looking
also
at, I'm looking at
have-
SAC. I'm looking at SAC in March or April.
Yeah.
You know, are we gonna have a big field for that class? And then like I know LA is gonna have a big field because I know you're probably gonna go down to Fontana if they open because of COVID or whatever.
Well, you also have a couple of Vegas guys. You have a lot of those guys too.
Oh yeah, Stevenson City. I forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of those guys. But coming up north, you know what I mean? That's another thing too.
Get Speed Factory to finally come back down here. Quit being lazy.
Tell them to build a slower car.
I mean,
No, I'm just
I don't
saying.
think they're lazy.
No, they don't want to travel. That's what it is. They go to Bakersfield and that's it. Down this way.
They go to Bakersfield and World Cup.
Yep.
That's the only time you see that car. Well, besides up there at their home track.
Yeah, they go to Washington and Oregon.
Shit, I forgot about fucking Aaron.
Hmm?
Yeah,
Sweet
because
Aaron.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I think Aaron will come out.
But he's
I
not.
think
he's
I-
not the Speed Factory car. That's what
No,
I'm saying.
yeah, no, but I'm
I'm saying
thinking
their
of-
cars like Ostrom's and then
Well,
Speed
once you
Factory's
get
car.
to that level, you gotta pick and choose.
Oh, yeah.
you know.
But no, they've said they're just too busy at the shop and stuff like that, and they got their own family life. And
I think with like also Aaron, I think Aaron will travel once.
Oh, yeah.
Once he's done with next season, I know for sure he'll take that car back down to Bakersfield to Fontana.
well, he's
I
already
know-
got plans for IFO February or January, whatever it is.
February.
Yeah, he's already got plans
IFO
for that.
Bakersfield. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Their Cliff's schedule typically stays the same.
Yeah.
For the most part, so
I just couldn't remember if it was January or February.
yeah, I typically make the race calendar for the shop cars December.
Yeah, we usually do too. Like I posted up live this year's before COVID
Yeah.
of all the events on this side,
So
just so that way we can motivate people to get out there more. You know, what I mean, this is the events coming up. This is what's going on.
Yeah, that's something we can push a lot next year too. Push that. I think that's one thing too is I know we started to do it, put all the info up, but I think again like because we kind of lacked on CMI and a little bit in Race Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to push a little bit more. Get out there in the
Yeah.
public, push because I think another thing is too about like I know as well myself is I prepare for the race. I don't do enough like so let's say media for it because I have a lot of followers on Instagram that would come watch, but if they don't know when the
Well,
events
aren't you
are,
fancy?
no, I'm saying I have friends.
Dude, you
Here
have
we go.
friends?
Fucking stop.
Fuck, let me
Stop.
get some.
Anyways, the point is that pushing the events where
Yeah.
people necessarily sometimes people don't know about.
Oh yeah.
You know, events that are coming up because a lot of people don't see it. You know, they might not follow you, but they follow me, but would be willing to go. That's another ticket sold to see. That's another butt in the stands. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I think
Mm-hmm.
me personally, that's
so
something
more
I'm gonna work on.
promotion.
More promotion,
basically.
like if you know race, you know IFO's coming up. post a couple times about it. Say, hey guys, don't forget this event's coming up. I think a lot of us can do something like that
Well,
to help push
that's-
forward. Because
That's a big problem with CMI. They don't promote nothing.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Nothing.
that's what I'm saying. Because I was thinking that's what got me thinking. Is like when I was talking to my own team and I was
Race
talking,
Wars
they're like,
promotes
I
their
didn't know.
ass off, but CMI, nothing.
Yeah, so I mean that's something that we also can work as to help grow.
Oh, yeah.
We got to spread the information too.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something too.
That's very true, because I see a lot of racers that don't promote what races they're going to and stuff. I
Mhm.
typically do, because it's like, you know, I want more people to come out, because the bigger
Yeah.
the event, the bigger turnout. You know, like, I don't want to go there and
Race 2 people.
yeah,
Yeah.
like what the hell.
Or get stuck into a different class because the class isn't big enough or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That happened too many times.
Oh, yeah,
Me-
it happens a lot.
me, I'm not really promoting for. I mean, yeah, for the fans and, you know, people who want to show support, but mostly for the racers,
Mhm.
because you know, I want them out there because I want to race.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Big shout out to, you know, all of the Powerline team, Hybrid Works,
Did we ever say
obviously.
his name?
Hey, shh. He's giving shout outs.
I know, but he said Powerline.
I know he did. That's
we
why
didn't
I
say
said,
him in the last
that's
two
why I said
episodes.
shh.
He was mad.
This
You
guy
know- you know what I'm
fucking
talking
says
about, right?
one person's name in every episode.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Right?
Yes.
He said it, not me, but it was said. All right,
Hey.
that's all that matters.
I got you, Ryan,
My
bro.
bad.
We got
Go
you.
back to your shout out.
Yeah,
Hey,
big
it's my
shout
boy.
out to you know, Powerline team, Hybrid Works, Wicked One, RS Machine, Kelly Built, DNR Fittings, Liberty Gears, you know, ATP Turbo, NorCal Auto Style. Yeah, you know, those are a lot of people that helped with this car.
Who's the next driver in the car after you get out here, man?
That's
I
to
got
be
one-
determined.
I got one guy on my
Uh,
B-man. It's coming.
Yeah, that's generations down, bro.
No, he's coming now. He's lighter than all of us. He's 12.
Can't even go on the track.
No. Yeah, but he can drive. He drives really good.
Yeah, but you can't drive on track though.
Oh.
I guess you're gonna do street racing.
4 more years, can't touch the track.
12-year-old street racing.
Yeah, you can't touch the track till you're 16.
16. Unless you're
Unless
in
you're
a
junior-
junior.
yeah, junior
dragsters.
But we don't
So-
have that in Hondas.
I'll put a sticker on there, B-man.
We'll get a cardboard cutout for the passenger seat.
Yeah, as far as the next driver for the car, as I continue the next project, you know, I do want to hand down the throne to someone, you know, that'll take care of the car and continue it when I move on to the next project. I don't plan on selling it, but definitely give it to someone who's gonna, you know, wanna show the next generation of racers.
Have the
you know,
passion that you do for it.
Yeah.
yeah, you know, and keep it going. Give them an opportunity that, you know, I wasn't given.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
eventually, probably after next year, for sure when the next project is done. So
You started working on another project already, or is it just kind of in the...
it's in the making.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How is that what that motor is?
No.
Not that one.
There's enough.
He's oh,
spares
there's more
for
over here
that.
somewhere.
So,
Yeah.
so we have like 3 heads, two motors,
There's 3.
or 3.
There's 3 motors.
So there's 3 heads right there. Just waiting for
2
just in case
transmissions.
from this car.
So
Cool.
You got anything else?
Nah, that's-
You guys? Anything you guys want to ask us?
Not really.
I got one
Love
last
the
question
passion.
that I always ask. Is there anybody you want to see on this show that you'd be interested to hear from at some point?
Yeah, Death Bucket.
Death Bucket.
Yeah,
Who's that?
Underdog. It's one of my teammates with this car. It's CRX cut up. A lot of people know it in Modesto area. It's called Death Bucket.
Okay.
Do some homework.
Two, the same thing. 2 guys built it together. It's like me and Chris put this car
Yeah.
together. Cooking. His name's Cooking and Red.
Okay.
They put it together. It's just all motor with some squeeze. I mean, does
1090.
1090. It's
That's
cool,
it.
but it's just a regular street car.
Cool.
It has a license plate, insurance, ready to go.
What about you?
Put Anthony on here.
Honestly, I want to see everyone on it.
Yeah.
Every single racer, every single tuner. You know,
plan.
it's nice to get different perspectives of where the scene's going in NorCal.
That was the whole aspect behind this.
Yeah. So I mean, there's not one specific person I'd say.
Yeah.
So I just want to see everyone
Alright.
on it.
Cool.
Well, thanks for being on the show.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for sitting
Thanks,
down.
guys. Appreciate it. You guys, good luck to you guys next year and the rest of this year. So,
Yeah.
you know, like we talked about next season, you know, and look at the progress you made in the short time of this year. You know, like you said, the progress you made, and I can only imagine what you're going to do
Yeah.
with a little bit of off season and keep going.
If you need a nitrous kit, I got one in my house. I got 3.
Oh, I got one too.
And you have a third one.
I have a
Second
turbo
one.
kit at home too.
All right.
that.
Cool. Thanks for watching,
All right, man.
guys.
Thanks.
Don't
See you guys next
forget,
time.
like, share, subscribe.
Later.